have stories. Every single one of us. From the highest of the high to the lowest of the low, we all have stories. Exploring the world for the greatest stories of all time.
Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Aron O'Dowd Show.
The Aron O'Dowd Show. Our soul is the screen upon which we project our dreams. What's your story?
Hello and welcome on today's episode of the Aron O'Dowd Show. We have another amazing guest as always. Her name is Rooney, and I discovered her some time ago networking on the Authentic Network and Opportunity After Brexit. And she's a local woman from Ireland, and she has experience in business consulting, volunteering, and wow, this is a powerhouse woman. Hello, welcome to the show, Anna. How are you doing?
Hello, Aron, and thank you very much for having me today on your show. I'm really excited and delighted to be on the other side of the podcast. So thank you.
If someone met you on the street and asked, Anna, who are you, what are you, and what do you do?
I think the first thing I'd say, I am mother of two, very proud mom, and a very proud partner. And what do? I have a lot of hats, Aron. So I don't know which one will start, but in my heart, I guess I just love working with people. And I'll let you ask the rest of the questions.
No worries. And why do you love working with people?
I don't know. I think because I grew up in a community where, neighbors were part of family. And I grew up in a very multicultural society, yes. And I worked with a lot of people from diverse backgrounds, diverse cultural backgrounds. And I don't know, I just love being with people, and probably because of that and because of my friends and family and people that I work with, I kind of make friends and I stay friends. So if I invest time into something and I feel that I'm giving as much out as I'm actually receiving, and I love that interaction, and I love making people happy and they make me happy. So it's by the end of the day is that fulfillment, Aron, and because of that I love working with people. Yeah, it gives me that fulfillment and purpose, I guess. And it all came from my grandparents. Yeah, so that's way back.
Wow, that is amazing how your grandparents gave you a legacy of enjoying with people.
Yes, and our house was always full of people, and I spent a lot of time with my grandparents. And I guess that's what I've seen. That's where I've been. And now it's somehow translated into my business and what I do. Business and community, I have to say that the community is a big part. I love volunteering. I love to be part of the heart of community. And if I can help, if I can make an impact as being part of that community or the group or the project, whatever that might be, I'd love to be there and I'd love to have my own little part, to make that big impact. So that's why, yeah, people are very important, and being around people is very important for me.
Why is community so important and inspires you?
Because, okay, if you separate, say, business and community, I would say, I don't know, work-life balance, whatever you want to call it, but there seems a separation. To me, there is none, because all the businesses need people, and where they come from, it's a community, right? And vice versa. The community needs businesses, that professional network. So wherever they are, they might hire them, they employ them, or do business with. And it's all about being in harmony, whereas business is business, but you can't forget about community. So I don't separate them. And because I don't separate them, I naturally work and have my own business, work with other businesses, but yet I have always somehow connected to community development and community development programs and participate them and volunteer. So, and it's very, very important for me. The same was through my grandparents, through my parents. They've been very active professionally, but we always had events to attend at community level. And I don't know, I just love it. That's all I can say. And I don't have any other explanation rather than I feel home when I'm in both worlds, right? but to me is as one, and that's why I feel most fulfilled.
When did you discover that for that love?
I never questioned that because it's just always been there. So I don't know if I discovered, I just continued what was there. I think that could be the right way to describe that.
It sounds like that this was ingrained you from early childhood, that community service in some way.
Yeah, it was ingrained or passed over. I don't know. I don't think about it too much because I enjoy it. I love it. And through the legacy of my grandparents and my parents, it kind of lives on. And that's what I want to pass over to my kids and grandkids, whenever will be, and maybe the next generation, you know. And my kids are already pretty active on that regard, and I'm very proud of them. And yeah, it all makes sense that without explanation or going in depth analysis. I know that it makes sense. And when I feel home in what I do, then I don't question it. So just enjoy it.
Describe that feeling when you're feeling at home in working in a community.
Uh, okay, I'll give you an example where I am right now and what we do. I will mention Employability Ireland and an Employability Limerick. So I'm a chairperson of Employability and work with an incredible team, especially our manager. She is a brilliant, and how she has her vision and how she actually deals with people. And who do we serve, right? We serve people who actually, people with disabilities, and then companies who actually could employ them. And I feel that if I can have small input in that, right? If I can make some small positive change, I'd like to be there. And it's very, very rewarding what we do here in Limerick. And as I said, working with such a dynamic team, and Ursula is just brilliant managing the project. And that part that fulfills me. So I'm there. But before that, there are a list of organizations that I've been as a volunteer or been in board of management, board of directors, name it. And I feel that it's everybody has to give something back and be part of something that's much bigger than they are, right? And I don't know, it's without it I wouldn't be a complete. That's the way I can describe. That's the feeling, right? If I don't do both, if I'm not in both sides, if I don't contribute to something, not necessarily for money, then I feel that I'm complete. I don't know, Aaron, if I answered your question, but
No.
the feeling I have is probably that I'm complete. That's the word that come to mind first.
No, that's perfect. Sometimes what we do is so natural, it's hard to explain. It's like breathing, and that's perfect.
So true. So true.
Um, Anna, you're involved in business. Is that something you love doing from a young age, or is it something you discovered in later life?
Oh, absolutely not. In fact, it's almost, you can say, accidental in my journey because I was raised basically to be a mom, to have kids, to support your husband, and never thought that I will be having my own business. And then it just happened, naturally happened, I guess. And my background is in accountancy. And the last almost 30 years now, so I'm giving away my age, right? Um, I've been in operations management consultancy. But my heart, going back to working with people, my heart has always been in learning and development, helping others, in training, and learning from others. So I always was taught from very early age, maybe because I was the eldest grandchild and eldest child in the family. I guess there is a reason to that. You can attach to it. So anything that I learned, I had to pass to my younger siblings, so my cousins. And within the bigger family, you help each other. You can help, and then if you need help, you ask for help. But there never was a sense where you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have your business. But yet when I look back, my grandparents had their own business, they had their own professions, and my parents did the same. They were always it's a word I'm looking for, very, very diverse way of doing things, so living your life, right? If I describe that. And diversity, I guess I can say very clearly, it's in my blood. Diversity in what I do, diversity who I work with, and diversity the friends that I have. They from different countries, different backgrounds, different level of society, if you wish. But that doesn't matter because I'm looking at the human that what connects me with them is their personality and their contribution to others. And I guess that's in a nutshell what it is. So if you ask me about business, no, I never was taught to be in business, but life happens, circumstances happened, and I had to look after two kids, and things weren't easy at times. And then opportunity was there, and I just took it, right? Uh, and it's been a very, very interesting journey since. So
And you know, when we're young, we want to be an astronaut or a firefighter. Is something an entrepreneur something that came to your mind?
definitely wanted to be an astronaut when you mentioned that, right? And my granny said, absolutely not. You can't go up there. But that's what I wanted. All the pictures that I was drawing was the moon or Mars or some other planets, right? And I spent a lot of time looking at the sky and almost communicating there. Now, what I think of when I was a child, right? But I guess my biggest desire is a teaching, learning and teaching. Again, it came big time from my grandparents first. And funny enough, even so, my background is accountancy and I was in operations for a long time. I am actually teaching or tutoring, should I say, through Kingston College. And I'm very proud of it and absolutely delighted to be part of such a welcoming team of people there and team of professionals. I learn so much from them, even so I am the tutor, but we learn from each other, learn from my students, learn from the tutors, colleagues. Um, it's I think you heard me saying before, academic world or anything to do with education, life learning. It's not necessarily has to be all in academia, but anything that I have interest in, from flower arranging to making flower pots. That's what I did in 2020 when COVID hit, right? I just love learning. But learning is only one part. I think if you learn something, the only way you truly learn and truly you know it, it's when you share that knowledge with somebody else. Then if you add a little bit of experience, and that where wisdom comes through. So, but it's no point having wisdom and experience if you're not sharing it. That's why teaching is the one. So even so I wanted to be an astronaut, yeah. Teaching is one that I always strive to and if you want me to be probably more precise, it's intergenerational wisdom sharing. Those words that always in my mind, in my head, in my heart, and regardless of am I doing consultancy, am I doing some other work, that would be the line that I always have. That is my guiding principle, I guess. That's what it is.
Why a teacher?
My teacher. I
Yeah.
guess my father was. I don't know. I'm coming from family of medical professionals, from dentists to surgeons to epidemiologists. So, and that story came from my grandfather. So when he was young, he was in university, medical university, and then due to a First World War at the time, he had to go and he couldn't finish it. But he vowed that he will, if he ever have kids, all of them will go through medical college, medical university, and that's exactly what he did. And three of them, two boys and a girl, finished medical universities. And as a first grandchild in a family, then I was expected to do the same. And so I did, right? I have a medical diploma, but my heart was with numbers and I love physics and I love math. So I nicely transitioned from there. And I asked my father, I said, yeah, I want to go to financial university. And he said to me, well, that was only a year done in medical. And he said, you will do, I will support you to do that if you actually finish medical. So and I entered financial and I had to keep going with medical. So that went on for 2 years until I finished that. I got my diploma in medicine and then moved on to finance. So I guess all of that summarizes why I love learning. And learning is something that helped me to come out of a very difficult situation. And I made brilliant friends, still friends with so many in both fields. So that will give you an answer why teacher.
Wow, we could have a Dr. Rooney instead of a financial Rooney, you know?
No, no doctor yet. Not that doctor. Maybe I will be soon. We'll see. Yeah. No,
Um,
I just felt it wasn't for me, but it helped me immensely, even through work that I do now, because I am combining consultancy and some coaching techniques, and that's what I tutor in Kingston College. It's coaching, executive coaching, and so, to some extent, all the knowledge that I have in medicine, it definitely helps, especially from the psychology part of things, and I love positive psychology, so there's always a reason for everything that happens in life, Aaron. So don't question. Just go over the flow. That's what I say. Go over the flow. Don't think too much of it.
and, and what do you love about psychology?
I said positive psychology,
Positive
right?
psychology, yes. What do you love about
Psychology. Yeah,
that?
I love philosophy, love psychology. I guess when you understand, to me, it brings back to self-awareness. And when you understand and have better knowledge of who you are, we never will know completely, but I'm still on that learning journey, right? But you have better awareness, I guess. And positive psychology, to me, we can't ignore that I have ups and downs in life, but you definitely can choose which one you focus on. And one thing that we teach through Kingston College is when we talk about appreciative inquiry and talk about positive psychology, I know that a lot of research is done. If you look for problems, if you want to highlight problems, you will find more problems. But if you actually solution focused and you look at solutions to the problem, you will find more solutions to it. So to find that switch, would I like to be this part or would I like to be that part? So I will go through positive side of things, right? And then look at the challenges with slightly high energy, and then things become a little bit easier, because most of it is happening in our head, and then how we translate that into reality and what we're going to do with it. So yeah, that's psychology for me.
Wow, you're a solution-based person and a problem-based person, right?
No, it's absolutely solution based problem. Yes, it's all about accountability, all about getting things done, getting things moving. Okay, that's and only forward.
And how does education inspire you? You know, like you're teaching, you're gaining things, but there's probably some fulfillment for you in education people.
Yes, it works both ways, Aaron. Yeah, the students are very grateful, and I'm so grateful for their positive feedback. And but they give as much to me in that, it's very rewarding. That's the way I put it. It's very, very rewarding because you see how they have grown through the process. If we're talking about, say, where I'm in Kingston College, there's a brilliant program there, and the way it's structured, it's very much action based, right? You really implement everything that you learn immediately. And I love that. And then what inspires me in the rewarding part, you see how people will move from A to B with that positive attitude, and they overcome some of the challenges they have. And that's definitely gives me that fulfillment, that if I could help somebody, if I was that little link for somebody to take that big step, I'll be delighted. It's like I feel that that is my purpose. On the other hand, I have people like that in my life also. That when I need somebody to give me a hand or to push me a little bit further, or challenge me on something, um, I have those people, and that probably leads me to another very not interesting. What I say, I'm a passion. Another passion of mine is collaborations, because it all comes back to working with people, and why I love that collaboration. Would that be collaboration with students that I'm in the class with? Because it's not one-way street. It has to both have to meet somewhere. Or if I work in business, or if I'm as an entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur, I've learned it hard way, I guess. It's a very lonely place at times, right? And there's a lot of responsibilities. And to overcome all of that and be accountable to self, be accountable to others, is actually to have those collaborations in place. And yeah, that's That's another very thing that I feel strongly about is collaborations.
My question is, how do you marry all these hats into one hat? You're planting, you're educating, you're collaborating. Genie, like what other can you do, you know?
Well, if you talk about business and coaching and working at executive levels, that really connects to what I do in Kingston College, right? Because it's executive coaching that we teach. The program is really, really exciting, even for me. Every time you go through it, you learn something new. There are a lot of tools that accommodate, or how can I say? It's not accommodate. It's complement what I do. So as we all know, it's probably the buzzword or used to be, apart from AI now, it's the coaching, right? Of what is coaching, how you can help somebody, to get clarity around something, from confusion to clarity. How are you going to bring them? And there are certain tools, certain ways of asking questions, and I wanted to learn that. So it's not that I'm doing something very different. I'm just adding another skill to what I do and adding more value to what I can deliver to others. But coaching to be something that I deliver as another passion of mine, as I said, I wanted to be a teacher. So all the experience in consultancy and operations, it definitely helps when I'm working with those people, and I have my own kind of I share my own experiences, right? That's why I can't see that it's something very different to what I do. I marry different strands to what my passion is about, what I really like doing, into those a couple of different areas that I work with. The same with employability, as I mentioned earlier, right? I am the chairperson of the board of management. But again, what do you do there? It's more or less what you do in operations. You look at how things work, what can we improve, how we can improve our services. So it's the same thing. So I apply my skills, the same skills that I have and experiences, to what I do. So my operations hat is on, my accountability part is on, and the other one, you've seen my tagline there. It's basically 3 steps: decide, commit, succeed. Whatever you put your mind on, keep at it, be persistent, and achieve, right? The only thing to add there, that you don't do it by yourself. You do it with people that are like-minded, people that support you, people that you can support, and you move forward together.
Oh yeah, for sure, definite. Why did you choose to decide, commit, and I crap, I can't think of the last one you said. Say again?
It's not unique to me. I'd say it's not a unique 3 words together. But when I was looking for something to say, what actually could describe Anna, I asked a couple of people, right? People that I could trust, people that not afraid to say, give me constructive feedback. And those 3 words were quite strongly coming true. And another word is there, I guess, sums that up, is accountability, right? I love accountability partnerships and collaboration. So those two hand in hand. And if you're in operations, so if you're in any consultancy, Aaron, you helping whoever came to you for that piece of work, you help them to achieve their goals. So those 3 steps are quite clear to me, and they have proven over the years, all the challenging times that I went through. If I don't put my focus on something and make the decision, things never will move forward. If I don't, it's a one part, right? And then if you decide on something, it's only a decision. But then you need to implement. How do you keep your motivation going? So if you want to implement that, you need a very strong commitment. But where do you get that commitment? So you always have to feel that connection to what you do. And when you do that, success is just an outcome of it, a very natural and logical outcome. But without commitment, your decision will stay just as a decision. And then when you move to success, you need to celebrate that. You need to give credit to yourself, which we're not very good at, but we need to do that. And you need to be grateful for people around you, because you didn't achieve it on your own. So those 3 very simple words mean a lot to me, and they actually put value in what I do and also put a lot of meaning in what I do. So I'm quite action based and try to get things done. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But one thing I'd say, if you have made that strong decision and you have right people around you, right community around you, you definitely will get it done. So that's my answer.
What does success look like for you?
Success. I'm in quite a few collaborations right now. So built a very strong foundation with those collaborative projects that I'm involved in. One of them, actually, you're part of that too. So hopefully that it definitely comes to a big day very soon.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Because of that, I think foundation is built, and success is now to get them over the line. When you get your foundation is strong, then the rest is quite easy to build. So it took quite a bit of time to get the relationships right, the friendships right, the understanding is right. So, and some of the projects are very, very exciting. So they're going to have a huge positive impact on many. And that's where success is, that we have that positive impact, that be in business world or community, and then moving forward together, Aron. That's definitely the key which drives me. And I'm just hoping that they feel the same way. That's why they're so long with me, and we are building something together, which I love. So that's what success is, moving forward together.
Excellent. And when someone gives you a project, what's your process to decide commission then success?
You analyze it first. I'm told that I'm very much left brain. Yeah, I will analyze it first, take as many facts as I can, and ultimately decision is made after analyzing that. The final decision is with your own gut feeling and say, how connected are you? Because the second part is commitment. And if you're not connected to that decision, if you're not connected to the project, it's no point giving false expectations. So, and be upfront with that. So if I feel and if I know that I definitely can deliver, that I know the way it can be done, then I'm all in, right? But if I can't, it's better to be upfront and say that some of the things you can't. Or if I know somebody else who is really a better expert than I am in that particular field, I have no hesitation to pass that to somebody else who can actually make it better. So that would be my decision-making factor first.
Wow. And this word authentic is thrown around, but what's your description of being authentic?
Being authentic, interesting, because I think I had the other day a post for it. Authentic to me, first of all, you true to yourself, through your values. But before you go to that, what are your values and beliefs? And we often ask that question, who are you? Or do you know yourself? As I mentioned earlier at the start of our interview, we learning as we go along, right? There's certain circumstances, there's certain experience that shapes us a little bit more and a little bit more. Sometimes you say, I didn't even know that I could do that, but I actually did it. So to me, go back and understand what you stand for. What are your principles in life? That's where authenticity is. And when you're showing up somewhere, be 100% present, because your authenticity without being present, well, I don't think it will have as huge impact. So to me, they go hand in hand, right? How to be authentic. First of all, you're staying true to yourself, so you're not trying to be somebody else. And then if you dealing with somebody, whether that be a project or anything else, or be with somebody, you have to be there in that moment to truly experience that authentic self and give respect to that other person or whoever or group of people. So that's what authentic to me. I don't know the definition of it. This is kind of my own understanding of my own definition. So, yeah.
We all have our own definition. The dictionary could say this, but internally it's a
Yeah,
completely different thing.
very true. But I do spend, how it all links, authenticity and being present, and then back to decision. Why, to me, they're quite connected, because how you can make decisions, right? You can make all sorts of decisions. Sometimes you make decisions because somebody else told you so, or there is a trend, or there is something else which is external drivers that force you to make that decision. And sometimes it feels the right decision in that moment. But when you really put your own authentic self into that decision making, then you can actually choose the right decision. Because over time, if your decision is wrong right now, but yet it feels good, but over time you feel some disconnect there, you need to come back and revisit where you make the decision. Was it the right one? Because it's never late to correct that. But it's definitely will be a mistake. It's only my own opinion. It will be a mistake if you keep going, keep continuing doing something, but you know that it's the wrong path to take. So that's why it's very important to have coaches, to have right people around, to have friends that you can trust, to have those professional people around you that you can actually not afraid to ask the hard question. And most importantly, to hear the hard answer, right? Because that's probably the most difficult part. So, authentic and making decision, to me, stay true to yourself first. And, honor what you value, honor what you truly feel about yourself. And then I think the right people and the right opportunities will come along. So, but it took a while to come to it, Aaron. It's not that I was just always like that. There is a journey towards it. And self-discovery and self-learning, self-awareness is something that I put quite a lot of time and thought and learning to come to this point. No?
I bet you Anna, the wise elder, has come to this, but the younger is like, I want this now, and why can't this, and so on.
Yeah, could be. Well, it's a topic that I love to talk about, but it's a topic that sometimes you don't need to think too much about, because when you go in depth, layer by layer, sometimes you go into spiral that you can't find the right answer. It feels like it, because you know that the more you learn, the less you know, right? So how to find that right balance? That when in my success part, I always say, celebrate your wins, give yourself credit. Make sure you share your wins with other people. And that what makes you grounded in the moment. That what makes you maybe resonate that positivity. Even so, they're very, very challenging times and we can't ignore them. But it definitely makes it easier to overcome them and have a bit of clarity to find that right solution,
When the world closed down for a period of time, did you feel disconnect because you're so much about community and people and so on?
Yes, and probably that will bring me to something that I'm very much a big part of, and you part of that community also, Aaron. So
Mhm.
2020, been so busy, and I was in hospitality sector, and can you imagine? And overnight, it's really was all shut down. And what do? In one sense, it was a blessing. On another, we know how many challenges and how many people actually lost their lives. And I have dear friends that no longer with us, right? But yet I can say that probably a lot of people could resonate with this. It was a great opportunity to actually to stop, reflect, rethink, and find something else. And back to my love of learning. So, what did I do? In all the difficult parts and the dark moments of my life, I always went back to education because I knew that it will be something different, something new, and learning always keeps me positive. It's a big hope with any new knowledge that you put into your head, right? So, I went back to study. I enrolled to Trinity College and I did a course there. Really, really happy, made lots of great friends. And I wanted to learn how to communicate with others. What can I do? And I never knew about Zoom, and now we're here, right? Using Zoom. So I actually ended up in Trinity College, finished my course, really excited with that. And I said, okay, what's next for me? And it was a very interesting exercise there. I think we're talking about the leadership, and we had to do self reflections. And on one of the self reflections, I actually said, I want to know more about coaching. And where did I end up? I ended up actually in Kingston College, and I was a student there. So from that, the rest is history, say. But I spent studying that and learning a lot about it. I fell in love with it. In fact, when I was writing my last assignment, the one phrase that came to me, I found my calling. So I think that was a little piece that I was missing. But if COVID didn't happen, right, and we weren't on standstill, I probably couldn't have achieved, or I couldn't be here right now. How did I connect with community? Again, I use Zoom a lot. I use WhatsApp a lot. I never lost contact with anybody in terms of connections, but obviously we couldn't see each other physically. We did a lot of walking, Aaron. That's the way I say community, right? What happened through walking? Actually, I found another little community and started with maybe 2-3 kilometers a week, or should I say a month, because I love high heels and I couldn't even walk on flats. That was how interesting it was, right? And now, fast forward, I'm doing 100 kilometers minimum a month, and I have a couple of accountability partners, which I love, right? And we're all doing it online. We don't have to meet with each other. We're using Strava as an app. And that's what I do. So from COVID, how I kept the community spirit going, I just found another activities that I could be part of, another community where I can meet other people, communicate with them, find somebody who can, who I can relate to. And that's it. So things get done. So now it's a minimum of 100 kilometers a month. Actually, my daughter there got enrolled to a charity walk in October, and I'm going to do that with her. And and I love it. So that's the way I connect back when COVID happened, right? And walking was the one thing that we could do.
I have that image going from high heels to flashy. Is that just that?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. They all laugh at me that is, it took me about 4 months, I guess. Yeah, very painful, by the way, very painful, because you have to, your calf is so small and you had to stretch it. So yeah, I experienced that firsthand. Yeah, but it was fun. And now I can't stop. That's a big part of my day. And we track it all on app. We know what we do. It's again back to my childhood, or you say all through business. I always need to belong, and I think that's another thing. As human beings, we need to belong somewhere, but I don't want just to belong somewhere. I want to belong, and I want to contribute, and that's where I get my fulfillment and rewarding sense, I guess.
How does it feel when you feel like you belong somewhere and this is me sitting in this environment that can empower people?
I don't know if I think about empowering, like I'm going to go and empower everybody. That's not the goal or the objective. Being part of something, especially when I say being part of, I would like to have a positive impact, right?
Mhm.
And to make that positive impact, you need to be part of community. I believe that, right? And it's more fun. You learn from others, and it's I guess basic human communication, basic human relationships that build to something that you're part of when we have something in common. I used to do a lot of work in community development programs way back through Peace 3 program. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but it is in the border counties like Monaghan, Cavan, all the border counties in Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. And I did a lot of work on integration in the community and the workplace. And the one thing was there from me that if my main slogan, I guess, was that if we find commonalities first, we will respect the differences. So when we talk about communities and how I feel, how rewarding that is for me, I know that there is a common purpose. The reason why we're there, it's a common purpose for all of us, right? But when we have that and we have that drive to achieve something together, then all the differences and diversity in personalities we have, it's actually the richness of that community. We respect it differently. So I guess I'm coming from that perspective, and you always will learn something new from others, because I have some skills, but I don't have all, and then other people have others, and complementing each other, that makes it all rewarding and fulfilling for me.
Fantastic. You said that education and going back to college was a kind of a lighthouse light for you internally. Can you tell us why that is?
Um, Something happened way back, and that's the time when I had medical college and I was in financial university. I lost a very dear friend. When I say friend, he was actually my fiance, but I lost him. I was 20. And if not education at the time, if I wasn't a part of the medical college and friends that I have there and in financial university, it kept me going, Aaron. It was very dark part of my life, but it kept me going. And the fact that I told you about my grandfather, that he had that dream that everybody is in his family will have high education, and he wanted them to go to university. I think because I had such a great connection with him and with my grandmother, and they gave me so many opportunities, I it's like my savior, right? If I'm in somewhere that I feel there is a gap, or I feel that I'm down, because we all have those moments, right? I can't say to you that everything is going nice and smooth. There are ups and downs. And I know for a fact that the best medicine for me, it's to go and learn something new, to be part of another learning group, class, whatever you want to call it. It's not necessarily master's levels or higher, right? I've been there also, but it's something that you with group of people who creating something new, learning something new, achieving something new, and I love that environment. That brings me out of the dark space that I can be. And because it's been so many times in my life, it happened so many times that I don't question that. So it's my savior is probably not the right word, but very close to it, you know. So even now, what we I decide to learn about AI, right? Everybody talks about it. I'm not an expert on it at all, but I do learn, and I do learn fast. And met my partner in our show, in our podcast, and we decided that, you know, we're going to learn this, but how we're going to share it with others. So, and instantly we came up with the idea, and the rest is history. Now we have our own show, but that wouldn't have happened if I didn't have that mindset. I want to learn this. Firstly, I wanted to go take a course. Then I said, no, maybe there's something else to learn. Maybe an accountability partnership was the way out of this. And that accountability partnership become collaboration. So again, back to education, right? Back to learning. It seems learning is literally at the core of everything I do, right? I can't escape that, and I don't question it now. I just go with it. Just go with it. That's all. It's simple, right? Just go with it.
For sure. And where does your curiosity come from?
I don't know. I always would like to know more, to learn more and share. So I don't know where it come from. I guess I was made that way. So because I enjoy it so much, and I don't ask, I don't question that, you know. I just improve it, and I definitely have improved curiosity. The way I ask questions, the way I stay curious, it definitely came from my training and coaching. Definitely did, and I have to give that credit to Kingston College. So, and I think if naturally, if you like learning, you are curious. You know, they're very much interlinked. So,
How are you able to marry the mathematical number side of you, the curiosity side? They probably have a debate with each other in you, you know?
sometimes I do, but I'm quite creative also. So, I don't know. That's, I guess, a part of the discovery, right? Because I love learning, every time you learn something, whether that be personal development or whether that be something that you can actually make with your hands, you learn more about yourself. You expand in your knowledge, you expand in your skills, and then you put in yourself in this constant mode of stretching your comfort zone, if that makes sense, right? Because what is learning is something new, and if you don't implement what you learn, then do you call it learning? So anything you learn, anything I learn, I try to implement. And by implementing, you push in your comfort zone. And then there is a very uncomfortable moments there, but only the true growth happens when you actually push those through uncomfortable zones, And yeah, that's that's the way I could connect it to. Yeah. That's interesting. Even while talking to you, I've never really put it this way, but here we are.
Yes, and you probably must I'm gonna use the word enjoy, but it's not the right context, but those uncomfortable zones probably show and push you who you truly are.
To some extent, yes, and I needed some help. That's the way I end up in a community that I'm in now, and the mentors and the coaches that I had, because some of the things you cannot do on your own, right? Even so, yeah, I'm considered high achiever, strong woman, whatever. There is a list of things people can say about me, but it's only me that know where my strengths are and how far can I go with it. And there are times that you need to have somebody that much stronger than you are, that far ahead of you, that they can give you a hand, because as they do that for you, then you're able to give the hand who is behind you. So again, it's a very simple philosophy, but I don't want to complicate it or overcomplicate it. I reach out to somebody who can help me, and then I will watch out for those who need my help. And that, to me, back to community sense, you moving forward together, because you don't want to be lonely, and I don't like to be lonely.
None of us do. What impact do you want to leave Anna's fingerprint on the world to say, hey, this is what I did, and I'm happy that I achieved this?
Interesting. Continue my grandparents' legacy of that intergenerational wisdom sharing. I would like to preserve that wisdom that we have, that passed on to us from our parents, from our grandparents and great grandparents. I have a lot of photo albums behind me. I love family stories through photo albums. And that's the way I preserve some of our stories. I love storytelling. So I guess that would be the legacy, right? To leave that strength and love for lifelong learning. That's what I'd like to be known for. Love of lifelong learning.
Brilliant.
Right.
And what do you love about telling stories?
It keeps the memory of very important people in the family or in the community or in our history, whatever one you want to call it. It keeps them alive, keeps their legacy alive. And when we talk about wisdom, Aaron, I don't think we're talking about new things. We're talking different ways about things that our ancestors knew, right? We just have a little different spin maybe about it, but the core message is the same. So to me, to keep doing that and not relying on technology, solely on technology to think for you. And that's probably back to decide, commit, succeed. If your decision solely focuses on technology or you rely on AI only, then I don't know where your fulfillment is, right? And where your identity is. To me, when you have your own spin of what you want to do first, you definitely go and use all the technology, advanced technology, to enhance it, to make it better or faster, because it's all about saving time by the end of the day, right? So to me, to keep that originality of wisdom or the knowledge, that's very, very important. I do use AI, I'm learning a lot, but in saying that, I want to keep my individuality, my, personal thoughts, what I stand for as the core of who I am. So that's probably would be the answer, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
it's great to have
Very
technology.
deep thinking now. You made me really go into philosophy side of things. So interesting.
Yeah, we have to leave our fingerprint, even though the technology is so advanced, it can do all this stuff for us,
It's here to stay, Aaron. It's definitely here to stay. So that's why, no matter what we do, if it's something that you're scared of, you better go and learn about it, right? A different question, will you use it or not? But you need to know about it. That's why we'd like to promote that more, see how we're going to go about it. So I'd like to learn more about it and then make a decision. Do I need it or not? But not knowing, probably you will be left behind because how fast things moving now, in every aspects of our life, whether that be personal or professional, you know.
Mhm.
So
What advice would you give to your younger self, Anna, if you were wild and wisdom and elderly?
um probably not to worry as much because every low followed by highs, right? And then when you're at the high point, you just have to have awareness that there might be a low, but you use the strengths to come out of it quicker. And another one, which I have to thank all the coaches, and yeah, I started with Trinity, the incredible people there, then the Kingston College, and I'm grateful for Ed Boland and Paula King there from Kingston College, and Alan. And then I'm moving to, I have to say thank you to Elite Anywhere, because a lot of things, even the fact that we're talking here with you today, is definitely, I have to thank him for that. And to have mentors, and truly, I knew Alan and Vic, and then so many incredible people that I work with now. And first of them, you asked me about then comfortable and being comfortable. That's Paul Reese for sure, and put in through. And I didn't like videos, so credit to him for that. And then back to who I work right now, which is a Peter Ainley and Denise from another program. So there's so many names, and Thomas Crotty, so many names that I can mention that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't in that community, right? If I didn't keep open-mindedness and say, yeah, what's next? What's out there? How can I actually reach out? How I can do things? Even the fact that we got closer through the book project, collaborative book project, right? So it's all adds up, but you have to be open. And I always been like that. Don't get me wrong, Aaron. I've been, but I could reduce the time of worrying. And the people that I thank, probably I could have gotten a coach or mentor sooner. That's definitely, I would suggest that everybody should have one that they can rely on and get that right advice. It's not the right advice, right information to make your own right decision. And it came from my grandfather, because he used to say, listen to everybody, get all the advice, and make your own decision. That came from my grandfather, and probably it relates to my 3 words that I use now. But yeah, that would be the main thing. Don't worry as much. Focus on solution than thinking so much about the problem. And definitely get a coach and a mentor that will, help you to get through those moments of challenging moments in your life, both personally and professionally. So, yeah.
And I would presume that'd be the same advice if someone asked you, a stranger on the street.
Sorry.
I would presume that'd be a similar advice that you give if someone asked you on the street for advice for something.
Yeah, I definitely will try to help out if I can. And I will be grateful the fact that I'm able to help so many people. Really am. Yeah, that's what I say, that it's no need to put time too much into worry, because it definitely will be there. And I'm one of them. I still have that feeling, but you can shorten that, because always the bright side comes out after dark. It's like we have day and night. So we don't question that, we go along with it. So the same in life.
It's funny, we question everything, but we don't question time, day and night,
And time, speaking of time, Aaron, it's absolutely irrelevant right now. I think after COVID and all the lockdowns and how the whole world was in still mode, to me, time is quite irrelevant now. I guess I measure time with what I have done, who did I meet, the great conversation I had. You tie in time with those moments that fulfill you. And that's the way I go about time. Otherwise, it could be pretty depressing to think about time as numbers or the hours, Just, yeah, go with the flow. That's what I leave you. Go with the flow and less worry.
Anna, do you, someone who's busy conquering the world and everything you do you spend time for you to, pray or meditate or take time out so you can
Yeah,
rejuvenate?
my walks are the big thing, Aaron. Speaking
Mhm.
of meditation, my birthday was not that long ago, and my daughter actually took me the morning of my birthday to one of the Buddhist center here in Clare, right? And we had a couple of hours there meditating, which was a very interesting experience. Yeah, I don't do it as often as I wish, but reflection is very important. Walking is actually something that I do now on a regular basis. I play chess. That's another little tool that I have. It helps me to reset my mind. If I need to go from one project to another, and you don't have time sometimes just literally to switch from one to another. It's a 60-second chess that I play. Again, it's a hobby more so than a professional thing, but I like it, and it lets me to leave the questions or challenges there. I deal with them. I know I can overcome them, but I need that switch, because if you don't do that, if you don't find that right switch at that time, it's very easy to go very quickly down. And I'm aware of that, and it's like human nature, right? But if I have that, have my walks, I have great people around. Now I have people around the world that I can just say, send a quick text if I need to talk to somebody and reflect on things. So reflection is something that I used to do more way back, or say reflection, affirmation, whatever way you want to call it, but I like writing and be creative. My meditation, I guess, go into creativity. I love creating images and I love working with photo albums. And that's form of meditation for me, that I can get lost. Because what is the objective of that? If I ask you, Aaron, what is the objective of meditating?
The objective of meditating is to get lost in within you and just be peaceful, I think,
Yeah, to me, I would say be in the flow, right?
Mhm.
So I get lost when I'm looking at pictures, putting them together. I get lost when I create images, even so it might be for work, but I put so much meaning from me to what I create. And that process of creation, I'm in the flow. So when I finish and I'm happy with what I have done, then I suddenly feel refreshed, right? So I use it as part of kind of my own tool for meditation, if it makes sense. And we have a little dog now. I have to say, somebody who never thought that I will be so close to a dog, especially in the house. And now it's a big part of my life. It's about a year we have her now, and she is absolutely a gem of our family now. So that's another thing I discovered about myself, which I didn't know before. So I love animals, but I never thought that I will have one in the house. Never did. And here we are, learning about ourselves, you know.
Fantastic. And is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we wrap up here?
But really, just want to thank you. It's been the hour just passed so fast. So thank you very much. Very relaxed, and really, I love your questions. I love the way you made me think. So thank you for that, Aaron. And yeah, thank all the people that I hope I didn't forget anybody. There are so many names to mention. Yeah, I just love being around people, love being part of that big impactful thing, a positive impactful thing that's there. And yeah, if anybody would like to have a chat, I'd love to connect and see what we can do together. So
If people want to find out more, where can they go in?
I'd say the best place is LinkedIn for now, right? And then we'll take it from there. And if something more, we can exchange WhatsApp, but we'll go over the LinkedIn first.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Anna. It's been a blast and a curious adventure into the Anna Rooney story. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much again. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Aron O'Dowd Show, where the world's best stories are told. If you like, please post a review or subscribe to the show. To find out more, contact us at aronodowd.com. That's ARONODOWD.com. We're always ready to share another magnificent tale from the world's best storytellers. So stay tuned and rock on.